Christmas of 2023 is in the books, but we still have New Year's coming up. It's definitely not too late to spread some holiday cheer. So I wanted to have on Colin Moore from Life in Football. Colin, we got a chance to meet this past season out at some games, and we did a previous Buff Stampede radio together. And today I'm sporting a Life in Football hoodie that my wife gave me for Christmas. So thanks
Right.
for taking time out to join us. It was great to meet you, and I'm excited to look like you for a day.
I know. Hey, appreciate it. Appreciate it. I know I fumbled the ball on that. Um, Miss Liz, please forgive me. I fumbled the ball. I was at the 1 yard line and dropped it, and the other team scored on me. But it still worked out. So I'm happy, man.
We had you on about 3 months ago, and
Right.
it was after Coach Prime had called you up in the TCU post-game press conference. Since then, we have had a chance to meet in person. How many trips out to Boulder did you get a chance to make this past season?
I hit the Nebraska. Then what we did, I missed Colorado State. I can't even think of the teams we played. I seen the USC game. I seen the um Stanford game. I can't remember how many I had out there because I can't remember, but I hit a few. I hit enough to where the process was going, and I said to myself, what I came to figure out is I like traveling to away games because once you have a home game, I know everything around. Away game give me something new that I never seen before. So although it's beautiful and amazing every time I come from the Denver airport to Boulder, it's beautiful. I love going to the different spots. So that's what I figured out. I love to travel to a new spot because once I seen Colorado, I seen it, but I never, seeing UCLA for the first time was amazing. Um, and everywhere else we went, seeing Arizona State was amazing. Like them places, I wouldn't get to go. And then Utah, I was going to go, but I didn't realize that the Orlando airport was gonna be stacked up. So the Orlando airport was super packed, and I ain't have a place to park. And they was telling me to take my car to the gas station and leave it there in Uber. I'm like, man, I ain't doing that. I'm going home. So I that's why I missed the Utah game. But I love
Okay,
going.
gotcha.
I loved it. Yeah.
You mentioned going out to Boulder multiple times. What was your first impression of Colorado, and how did that evolve as you took additional trips out to Colorado?
Beautiful, man. Listen, when I'm riding down the road and I'm seeing all the mountains, to me it's amazing because I'm from Florida, and when you see the mountains in Tennessee, they're nice too. But when you see the mountains in Colorado, that's a different ball game. And I seen mountains in Nevada as well. So I seen mountains in different places, but none are like Colorado. Like that drive from Boulder, from Denver to Boulder, so amazing. I'm talking about you see homes just sitting on the hill, like, yeah, I got money over here, I got money over there, and then in the background you see the beautiful mountains, and it's like to me, the people on the hill saying, well, I live in a great spot, don't I? Look outside. I see all the mountains. Listen, it was amazing. Like then riding into Boulder, how because I every time I come into Boulder, I want to take this first exit, but it looked like it take me somewhere else. So I never hit that first exit. Next time I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna see where it take me. But I slide all the way down to where I come, and when I make that left, I be right by the stadium. So it's an
Mhm.
exit before that. You probably know it very well. I want to take that exit and see what it feel like, but I be scared to take it because it be on game day, and I don't want to miss out and get trapped in whatever area this is.
If you're gonna take that exit, do it a little earlier. Yeah, because
Oh,
you're gonna
okay.
you're gonna hit all the tailgaters coming off Broadway, and
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
but it is kind of a cool area to really take in the game day atmosphere. But yeah,
Right,
if you're up against it time wise, definitely don't get trapped in there. There was a
right,
game against Arizona State multiple years ago, and usually I get to the stadium 3-4 hours before the game. But
yeah,
this game, for whatever reason, I had family stuff going on, and it took me
right.
a while, and I got trapped in that traffic. That's the most anxiety I think I've ever had covering the Colorado
About getting to
Buffaloes.
a
So,
game, I know.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, USC was mine.
okay. Did
Hmm.
you get a chance to meet any new celebrities being down on the sideline this year?
I saw him, but I didn't go actually speak. I saw him, but I didn't speak. But it was this one guy I met. I forgot his last name. I mean the whole part of his name. He was a D, it said DJ something. And he used to always be just dancing on the sideline. And that was it'll catch my attention. Cause he dancing to the music and he could dance good. See, I can't dance. So anytime I see somebody dance good, it catch my attention. So he up there getting. I'm like, so I told him after the game, I said, bro, boy, you actually be dancing. I said, you be making me want to dance. And then we just laughed. But I can't remember his name. It was DJ Son. You probably saw it too, because he had on a hat. Well, no,
Mm-hmm.
you be upstairs. You be upstairs. So I seen Master P. I seen Cordell Stewart. I seen Michael Irvin. I did meet Cam. Cameron, he a rapper. He had just said it was right after Coach, it was the Nebraska game. Coach Prime had said he had just called me down for that TCU game. So Cameron on his show was talking about it. He said, "Yeah, man, this the guy." Well, he didn't know who I was, but he said, "Man, yeah, Coach Prime called this guy down because he was being so loyal to him the whole time, man." So when I saw him, I was like, "Hey, Cameron, hey, bro, that's me." And then we laughed, and he walked by, but I don't think he knew what I was saying because there was so much going on. Then I met the head coach that used to be in the NBA, Mark Jackson. I met him
Yeah,
at the UCLA game. I met Pastor Dewey Smith. I met him. I met the other pastor I met at UCLA, and him and his wife was there. I met them. So it was a lot of people I was meeting, and then there was other people I was talking to, but I don't get to know everybody. Like it was a rapper that I was by, and the guy knew him. So I don't listen to rap music no more. So the guy knew him, and I was like, "Who is that?" He said, "Man, you'll take a picture for me." I was like, "Who? Who is this you want to take a picture with?" And he was like, "Man, when you think of good man," I said, "Just go over there, man. Give me the phone. I'll take it." Because I didn't know who he was. I didn't know if he was super famous or kind of famous. I didn't know. But I didn't take no picture with him. He had a little kid, and I talked to him about his kid. But it was just funny that like you be sitting around people and have no clue who it is. It's just that many people want to be around Coach Prime that I didn't notice it, but I did notice those guys because I done seen Master P since I was like in middle school, like on TV and stuff, and I done seen Keyshawn Johnson and Michael Irvin since I was little because I'm watching the NFL. So some of them easy to point out. The rest of them, I don't be knowing who it is.
I'm kind of like you in the sense that
Yeah.
I don't want to bug people, because
Right.
I feel like they get that all day long, and I don't
Yeah.
want to add to them not wanting to come out to Colorado and enjoy the experience. But I will say, Colin, like the biggest regret I probably have in my 20 plus years covering Colorado football is that Paul Pierce was 3 feet in front of me. And I'm a diehard Celtics fan. Ever since D Brown, when I was 11 years old, pumped up his shoes and did the no look dunk in the dunk contest, I
Woo.
was all in on the Celtics. And
Yeah.
so Paul Pierce got drafted when I was in college and just
Right.
really went through the ups and downs throughout his career.
Yeah.
And now my whole wife's family is Kansas Jayhawks. So I had that
Right.
whole part of it too. And I've gone to Allen Fieldhouse and seen all the stuff they have up with Paul Pierce. And
Right.
I chickened out. He was doing a live video and I just didn't want to interrupt him. But man, that was maybe the biggest regret I have.
Because he was at the game this year, right?
He was at yeah, him and Kevin Garnett were
Right.
both
Because
at the
I see,
USC
yeah,
game.
see,
Yeah.
forgot about it. I seen them. I like basketball, but it wasn't enough to pull me over there to say something. I wanted to, but I was like, man, I like Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett, but man, even if I take a picture with them, they so much taller than me. I would look like a shrimp to them. So I was like, man, they can have that. They can have. I did see him too. I did see him too. Now, Stephen A. Smith and Sterling Sharp was real close by me. And I was gonna say something, but it was a guy in the stands. He yelled their name so loud that they had to look and talk to him. I say, well, that's what I should have did. But I was out. I could have actually touched him on the shoulder and say, hey, let me get a picture. But I kind of didn't want to do it. Now I did take a picture with Fred Taylor when we was in Arizona. I was
Okay.
like, man, let me get a picture with you, man. I say, normally I don't care about this, but I really did like Fred Taylor because he was in Florida with me. So he had that visor on when he was at University of Florida. He used to be running that ball looking so fresh and so clean. And then when he went to the NFL, I used to use him on Madden and just be dogging people because he was just that good. So I was like, bro, I normally don't do this. I really don't care, but I want your picture. Like I want to get one with you because it's personal with me. So yeah, but I'm pretty sure Paul Pierce and them gonna come back.
I hope so. And I swear if they do, I'm not going to chicken
Yeah,
out
you better
again.
get it. And listen, I already got your number. Hey, he down here. You better come on.
All right. I appreciate you. Do you have a favorite food spot out in Colorado yet?
I ate pasta J's. I ate them. I liked it that.
I got to
Um,
ask you, do you like garlic?
yes, I got the garlic bread.
Because
Yeah,
you have to like garlic if you go to Pasta J's. If you love garlic, that's a spot to go to.
see, I like that pizza and garlic. So I was good. They hit me with the
Okay.
whole. I went there. I liked it. That listen, going there was really like a blessing in disguise because I wasn't thinking about no certain spot to go to. When I went there, I met Urban Meyer. And Urban Meyer recruited Polk County heavy. That's what, like Tim Tebow plus our Polk County guys helped him win that national championship, as well as the other guys. But some of our Polk County guys was the main hit for him, the Pouncey twins, and Chris Rainer and Amar Black. So I said, I was like, man, now that's what I debated because I talked to them football guys, but it's like, do you want to bother them? So him and Cordell Stewart was in there too. Cordell Stewart was a couple spots up. Him and Cordell was eating with somebody, and Urban Meyer was eating with somebody. So I saw Cordell. I'm like, dog, that's Cordell. So I was like, dang, that's Slash to me. Like, I don't really think about him in Colorado time. I think about him in the Pittsburgh Steelers because he out there getting it. I'm like, oh, that's Slash. But then I look over and I'm like, that's Urban Meyer. Golly. So I was like, hmm. Then I went to debating like you. I say, man, should I say something to him? And I was like, I ain't gonna say nothing. Then I said, man, forget that. I said, I'm gonna see if he say something to me. So I looked at him and I said, um, yeah, man, I say, coach. So he looked at me and I say, well, okay, what can I say to keep the conversation going? Because I do want to kind of talk to him. It's Urban Meyer. So I'm like, hey, you recruited my Polk County boys. That was all I need to say. He said, hey, yeah, come here, man. Come here. So we went to talking. He said, yeah, man. He said, I was on the phone with Amar Black the other day. I said, yeah, man, me and Amar, we did an interview and we talked about you. I said, man, the way you used to get down that football practice, I said, you probably would have ran me up out of there because I wouldn't have been able to handle how Amar Black said he talked to players, which it ain't bad. It's just he come for you. He gonna test you and see if you got it mentally. If you ain't ready for it mentally and nobody never came for you like that, you probably gonna back out and like, oh, like you gonna almost want to get with him because he like, no, you coming at me like that. So I told him, he bust out laughing. And then when he left, when he was getting ready to leave, and I was trying to come back in to pay for my food. And that's when everybody went to doing the stuff that you say everybody do. Can I get a picture? Urban, can I get a picture? Coach, can I get a picture? So he was standing up, and I believe it was the Pasta J's owner. Him was standing up. So the owner kind of moved out the way, and Urban Meyer standing in the middle, like holding up the whole walkway to get in. Because I know you know it. So I'm trying to get in
Yeah.
the, and I say, man, I don't feel like asking him to excuse me and all that. And I already talked to him. I don't want to think I'm aggravating him. So I tried to dip up under him, and he moved over and stopped me, like, man, what's up? Like, and to talk to me some more. And I kind of caught me off guard, like, and then he talking about, yeah, Polk County. Yeah, uh-huh. And then he walked down, everybody else took his picture. And then Cordell Stewart came out, they went taking his picture. And then out of the blue, I decided, you know what? Let me get a picture with him. Guess what happened then? Man, that man was walking across the road. I said, man, forget it. Forget it. So I missed that opportunity. I talked to him, but I missed getting a picture. That's who I should have got the picture with. That's who I should have got the picture with.
Maybe what we need to do is just embrace the memories of being around these people, and sometimes the picture is great for everybody else, but personally you kind of have that moment to yourself. And that's a cool story, Colin. You ordered pizza at Pasta J's. Okay.
Pizza and the garlic bread because they told me get both. So I was hitting both, or I'm eating, boom. I'm getting the bread, boom, boom. And then I got full right there at the spot, and then I left, and I thought I was gonna eat it later, but I didn't. I got sleepy.
Fair
Mm.
enough. Yeah, I would recommend the Hagen option next time you go there. Darian Hagen was the quarterback on the 1990 championship team. He's now the running backs coach at San Diego State, was on Colorado's staff as an ambassador last year. A great guy, and he's got a dish named after him. You can kind of tailor your dish to what you need. So that's my recommendation for your next trip out to Pasa Jays.
I am gonna try it. I know what I did get, and I was trying to remember where I was at when I got it. I like sweets, so I like the donuts, cupcakes, and all this. So as we was riding, me and Big Dog Chico, he said, hey. I said, that go a donut shop. He said, no, how you saw that? I said, man, I'm looking and I'm reading for sweet. Because in my mind, I was looking for sweets. Because we had just ate at Pasta J, so I'm looking for sweets. And I saw donuts, but it said voodoo donuts. And I was like, man. He said, you gonna go in there? Because I know you be talking about God and everything, but are you gonna go in there? I was like, bro, I doubt they doing voodoo on the donuts, but I got to try it. Man, I tried about 6 different donuts. I was biting, I was biting all of them, trying to see which one was the best. I like that place. I liked it. The
Did you
voodoo.
try the bacon maple one there?
No, bacon. Yeah, I can't.
No.
I can't
Okay.
move because it's bacon. Now I know this sounds crazy. I didn't try the bacon, which I might as well next time I go because you just made me think of something. I have tried a Krispy Kreme donut with bacon and hamburger and cheese on it. I know that's crazy. Why did I eat that? But I ain't eat that one. I don't know. It was just, I guess the hamburger with the donut enticed me more than just the little bacon on it.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Did you make it out to Fort Worth, or you said Oregon, Arizona State, UCLA? Those were the 3 road trips you went to?
Yeah, TCU was nice.
Oh yeah, yeah. You were at TCU. You got called up by Coach Prime, of course.
Yeah,
Which of those trips was your favorite?
TCU because it was. I liked the TCU. I really liked it UCLA, and I really liked it Oregon State. I liked it all three, but TCU because it was Coach Prime first game. Like it was a can we beat them or not? And then it's fireworks the whole game. And then we saw the stadium that night. And then we thinking, I remember seeing this stadium when I seen this number 5 running the ball. I'm like, who is this dude running all over this field and the field looked nasty? And it was LaDainian Thomas back when I was in either high school or something like that. And he was slashing through the field, running all them yards. And I had never heard of that school because I'm in Florida. So, now I'm starting to look at college football. I'm seeing all this stuff. I'm like, so that's what I remembered. I'm like, dog, LaDainian Thomas was out here just running and just doing his thing. And I'm looking at the stadium and I'm seeing the horn frogs. I'm seeing the scoreboard. I'm seeing how they got it lit up. And it was at night because it was the night before the game. So I'm like, they could have played this game at night and it would have been amazing. But I liked everything about the TCU, man. That was my favorite because of everything that was involved. Then for the first game, I happened to go to the area and I got used to it. I had got a knack for finding out where Coach Prime them was gonna arrive at and being there. So I got in the perfect spot for TCU. And boom, I got to see Coach Pride and them coming in. That's how I ended up on the documentary because I was right there where they was coming in at. And to see Coach Pride come in for the first time and how he carry himself going in, it's like you're watching a movie. Like, it's really like you're watching a movie. Like, you're there watching it, but it looks like a movie. It looked like a big time, which he is. So it was like a movie, but it's like a big time star getting out the car and the music going with it, and they just walking out. And you know that person finna do what they do and whatever this event is in this movie. So that's what it was looking like. Then the squad was getting out, and you see the players, someone trying to have the game face on, and then like Oh, Shiloh walked past me, and somehow me and Uncle Neely was like, "What's up, man?" I was telling Uncle Neely what's up, and I guess Shiloh by this time I done talked about Colorado football so much up until that time. So Shiloh kind of looked, and I guess looked back at him, and they just laughed it just was funny to me. Like I caught all that. And then after the game, what was so special about it was we won, and it was so close to not winning because it was certain plays that I was watching the game, and when Travis Hunter picked that ball off, where I was looking at, if Travis Hunter wanted to pick that, that boy would have caught that ball and walked into the end zone. He could have tied his shoes, untied the other, did 2 jumping jacks, and walked into the end zone. That's how wide open that play looked. Because I saw the quarterback looking. I said, everything locked down, locked down. Okay, boom. And then I said, oh man, I seen him look at the running back. I said, oh, he finna hit him. And when he threw it, I was like, oh, this is a touchdown. We finna lose, man. And then Travis Hunter jumped in front of it. And before that play happened, Darius had came by, and I was like, Darius, I'm not filming nothing, bro. So go ahead and get in front of me. So Darius caught an amazing play. And then on top of that, I had been talking about the players so much and interviewing most of them that I'm walking out. Me and Jimmy Horn walking out at the halftime. I met Warren Sapp. I'm meeting the different coaches. They saw me, but now they meet me. So that day was special because I got to meet everybody for the first time. And then on the end of it, Coach Prime called me down. I didn't think he was gonna call me down. You seen how packed that little room was. So all that in one, and then like I lost my voice hollering at the end of the game because we had won. I'm like, man, I told everybody we was gonna win. Yeah, like I lost my voice. Man, it was wild, man. Cause that was the very first one. Like, that's why I want to come to, like, I see Boulder a lot, but I'm excited to see Nebraska. I'm excited to see Colorado State Stadium. UCF, when y'all come down here, I'm from here, so you know I done already seen their stadium. But to have y'all down there, that's gonna be the who's the true black and gold team right there. So that game gonna be fun to me. But I'm from here. But them first 2 games, well, the second 2 games, the second and third game of the year, I'm gonna be excited to see that. But I know that that North Dakota State game, that one I'm gonna be excited because it's a new season. So that first game I always just give that. So yeah.
I think in 10, 15 years, when I think back to this season, the TCU game, what'll stand out is the tailgate atmosphere around there was a little bit different because I've been used to covering Colorado in the Pac-12, and it's a lot of wine and cheese atmosphere. It's a lot of highfalutin people that aren't really that passionate about football. TCU was kind of a little bit of both. It
Right.
was a lot of people getting dressed up for the game, doing the tailgate thing. Game day, my wife was down on the field photographing, and I was down on the field just for a brief bit, but it was really negative, aggressive stuff that was being said by the fans. And so the fact that Colorado was able to win that game was if you're a human being and you're covering Colorado and that didn't feel good, then I don't know what to tell you, because to shut those people up a little bit, to send them home, eating their words a little bit was a good feeling. Oregon's always a great atmosphere. You got like the RVs pulling up for tailgate, but it's always rainy and just a little, it's a cool atmosphere, but it's never like the best football weather, I guess, out there.
It's not, because I thought it was cold. I had
Yeah.
suited up. It's cold. Then we got into the game. No, I went to walking around the stadium to get me warm. So I walked around the stadium, but I ain't gonna lie, it was nice. And I love how they did Bo Nix. Like they turned him into their Heisman before he was a Heisman candidate. They had the Bodacious or something. And the way they sold him, I was like, man, he like a king here. He's like a king in Oregon. I was like, I don't know how you don't feel like you not him there. Like, we don't like the way they did. I don't know if you saw how some on their stadium, like they had it painted off, placed up there, and it was like bodacious or bold something. And I was like, oh man, you him. So when I walked up, I had to walk up to him, and I wanted to see him. Like, what is this that make him so special that Oregon going crazy about him? And I walked up on him. I said, well, he got height, he got size. And then when I seen him play, I like, he like that. He like that. But and then I seen that national championship trophy. And I ain't gonna lie to you. Maybe you made a thought different, but that stadium is the loudest stadium I ever been in. I guess because they say they got that thing that how they designed it, and there's,
Yep.
I guess, noise carry and bounce off, just bounce up and down. Who it was like, it was so loud while I was on the field. Your wife, she probably said the same thing. It was so loud, and that's a blessing, man. How y'all work together. I love that. I meant to tell you that. I love that. So it was while we was on the field at Oregon, and it was so loud that I said to myself, it's gonna be hard to win because when they was trying to call in plays, I couldn't hear them say nothing to each other. I know they couldn't hear it. On offense or defense, I know nothing could get heard. So I was like, how can you win and you can't even hear what's getting called? Like, I know they finally got the play in, but bro, it's like you go there, it's almost like a guaranteed loss. It's just unless your team elite, it's almost like it's gonna be a loss. I guarantee you, I could be wrong, but I guarantee you, since Chip Kelly was there, and I know they had a patch that it wasn't as hot, but since Chip Kelly has started it, I bet their record since they got that stadium or however they redesigned it, once they redesigned it, I bet they are dominating in the win column.
They are. Yeah, back in 2016, Colorado won out there. I'm sure you've heard about that win, and every other trip out there was just absolutely miserable. There, as much as I hate to see the Pac-12 disappearing or becoming this new version of the Mountain West, that makes me sad. But those miserable experiences out at Autzen Stadium covering the Buffs, I'm not gonna miss that. And then I don't know if you were driving into Portland after the game, but we all hit traffic and you're stuck in the rain, and that's so many of those trips that I've had out there.
I was scared I was gonna miss my flight. I barely got in. I ran, I was running. I would run, I get tired. I run, I get tired. I guess they had closed the gate on me, the door. And I said, ma'am, am I early? And I knew I was late, but I was like, ma'am, am I early? What's up? So the lady was like, let me call. So she called. She said, how many people going with you? I say, just me. So now I'm trying to exaggerate. I'm trying to be the best actor I could be because I do not want to get stuck. I don't want to miss a flight. I don't know what's going to happen if I miss this flight. So I'm like, man, please let me in. I don't know what I'll do. So she like, yes, it's just one. She was like, they was like, they'll let you in. Man, when I got on the plane, it was barely people on there. They better not have left me. It was barely people going back to Florida. And I was so happy they let me on. I was so scared, man. Cause like you said, Oregon, that from Eugene, Oregon to Portland, who decided that you only have 2 lanes? That was crazy to me. It was bumper to bumper traffic all the way, all the
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
That was that was crazy.
yeah. The pregame deal with their duck mascot, that would be something we'd be talking about for 20 years, mocking them had that game not gone Oregon's way. Were you on the field when their duck came out and he starts
As
bashing the primetime clock and his head falls off and he's got to run back up the tunnel?
listen, when all that happened, I said, look how they trying us. I said, I hope we beat the brakes off of them. Then when his headgear fell off, I was happy. I said, now see, that's what you get for trying to do too much. Like they got too involved in the Coach Prime thing. Like they took it to a whole nother level. But then they did how they did it. So it went in their favor. But then it turned in their favor because they could never get past Washington University. So at the end, they beat their own selves in both them games. They took their own selves out of the chip. They took their own selves out of having a Heisman Trophy a winner. They did that. And
Yeah.
that might all come back to that silly duck move that they tried to do. If they just would have came out, do their normal stuff they do, lead Coach Prime alone, beat the brakes off us, they probably would have ended up winning. But since they did it that way, it didn't fold their way on the back end.
Dan Lanning rubbed me the wrong way at Pac-12 Media Day out in Las Vegas, and then he made those comments. And I'm a professional, so I bite my tongue. But I have on a former Buff player, William Gardner, on a lot of my podcasts, and he just cannot stand Dan Lanning based on those remarks he made. And I love just teeing him up for that. I'm not going to ask you about that, but
See,
that
I never fully listen to him because
Okay.
all I heard was the clip afterwards. I didn't his media day stuff. I didn't even check it out because I was trying to watch what y'all did with Shador and everybody else. I was trying to get the players and see what y'all might have said about the players. The coaches I didn't really check out, so I don't know what he said. And then how he acted in that after they won or at halftime, just going off. Oh, we're doing it for wins and they're doing it for clicks. I was like, bro, now you know the camera on you. Now you looking like an actor too. You acting too. And maybe you want what Coach Prime got, but you got to go do what Coach Prime did. You got to go in the NFL and shine at that spot. Go to the Hall of Fame. You got to be an MLB player and shine in that too. You man, you just got to be one of the most charismatic guys it is. You got to have that walk, that talk. He don't really have that, but he got Oregon. He's standing on. To me, if he would have came to Colorado, Colorado wouldn't have been what Colorado is with Coach Prime. Coach Prime
Agreed.
could go anywhere, and he's a unicorn there. He's gonna bring everything there. It just like he sucks everybody to him like a whew, they come to him. Everybody else, they almost got to have a program. So he got a program out there, but when you go look at Oregon, I loved it out there, but as a player, as me thinking as a player, they can't sell me on Oregon because it's like, man, what I do after the game is over. It looked like nothing to do, and the weather, like you said, is wild. So it's like, what I do, just go back to my room. Like, you younger, you might want to go hang out at the club. You might want to have this, that, or third in your city, but it didn't look like nothing. It looked like you gotta either ball out on that field to get the love you want, or man, it's just whatever. Like it didn't seem like a place you want to be. And I ain't saying that because of all that. It's just I love the view. I love the stadium. I love game day. But on after that August to December run, what am I supposed to do from January to back up until August? Them 8 months gonna hurt me because it's like, what do I do out here? So that's the only side effect about Oregon.
Next road trip, Arizona State. I saw you as I was walking out of the parking garage. I talked about my big regret of not asking Paul Pierce for a picture. Number two this past season on the regret rankings here is wearing a full suit to that football game. I was sweating really bad, Colin. You were clowning on me. I deserved it. But my favorite moment pregame is so I'm waiting to do a segment on CBS Sports Network with Romy Bean, and they're having issues with their lights. So I'm down on the field and it's just cooking down there. I'm in a full suit. I'm just looking for a place to find any type of shade. And everywhere I go, I'm getting ushered away by the security. And
Right.
finally, there's like a little area by the Pat Tillman statue where I'm
Yeah.
just kind of hovering, trying to like not full on just be dripping down
Right.
during this interview. And I see you're doing a live and you're in front of the Pat Tillman statue and the security guy comes at you. And I loved your reaction. You turned to him and he said, "So you don't get down like that here?"
Yeah, because he ran me up out there. What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm like, bro, why y'all acting like this? It ain't even that serious. They ran me up out of there. Listen, backtrack that. When you was hot, I was hot too. But to see how you was sweating, I'm like, ah, dog. And I was hot too, so I'm hiding in different areas trying to. And I said, dog, everything. I loved Arizona State setup. They got the airport right by the stadium, right by the hotels, right in the city. It was amazing. But it's so hot. I was like, dog. And Florida is hot, but y'all got a different kind of hot. So as I'm going in, after I saw you and did my laughing, and then right before you saw Romy Bean, she walking out with me, her and the cameraman. So we're talking and laughing, and she had a camera and something happened and the camera broke off. So I said to myself, man, I hope y'all don't feel like that's part of me why I broke off. Like it just broke. I was like, nah, you good. And I had wondered what happened to that. And it's funny that you said she still had camera problems. That happened right by me. Like boom, the camera thing had broke off. And that was why, because you got that part, and then the other part, me and you had that same interaction. So we had about 3 interactions before the game, I got the camera, then you got the camera with her later. Then I go in there by that Pat Tillman, because this is what happened. I'm looking at the Pat Tillman, and as I'm looking, I'm like, oh, boom, 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 boom. So I look up, oh, they playing music off here? Okay, let me walk back there, let me get that. Boom, boom. Oh, okay, boom. And that dude come out of nowhere. Like he finna make a sack on me or something. Boom, sack on the play by Arizona. Colorado's down. Like, what's up? You gotta get out. You can't do it, man, bro. Like, chill. Like, come on, man. Why you acting so serious? Like, I'm stealing top secret information. I'm just trying to film and get what's going on. Yeah, they ran me up. I'm talking about got me up out of there fast, man. Matter of fact, they got me up out of there so fast. They threw me off. Like, it threw me off to where I didn't want to walk past you know how the gate was around the fence.
Mhm.
I didn't want to walk out of there because it felt like, hey, what are you doing? Even though I had my passes, it still felt like that. So I kind of just hung out and chilled. But I ain't gonna lie, when that weather dropped, whew, Arizona was picture perfect. I said to myself, they should never play a game before the sun dropped. The sun should be going down for all their games, for like the players' safety, because that was crazy.
Yeah, even the folks that cover ASU were saying it was one of the rare games during the afternoon during that time of year that they've ever covered in all their time on the beat there. Last road trip that we're going to talk about here, Colin, that you went out to was UCLA. And I think a lot of people are going to think back to the 2023 season, and they're going to think about the 29-point comeback by Stanford and how that kind of led to a downturn in the season. But for me, it was the UCLA game
Right.
when Shador just could not get time in the pocket. There was a feeling of defeat that maybe I don't think the players felt it because they were competing through the rest of the season, but there was a feeling about the pieces on this team just aren't here right now. And I felt like that was the game where it kind of really sunk in, unfortunately. And that's when Coach Prime in the post-game press conference talked about we're going to paint a picture, and it's going to be, it's going to be painted beautifully by getting new offensive linemen, and they've obviously done that.
So I'm on the field, right? Because I know you always go to the booth.
Yeah.
And I went to the booth after everybody cleared out and left. I went up there. So I'm down there on the field, and that's how I met all them everybody I met that game. So while we watching the game, because I'm like you up top, I'm right there watching. So we driving. When we drive down there, I only get 3. That hurt me, man. I was like, dog, we ain't need that. Then we drive down there again, only get 3. Then we the quarterback for UCLA, he moving around, but we making stops. They'll make some plays, but we making stops. And I'm like, okay, we got something. Then we come out of halftime, and man, they blow down the doors. Boom. I said, dog, that's it. I knew that was it, man. When they blew down the doors out of halftime, I said, dog. And I ain't gonna lie. When LA, listen, they showed me something. I was like, whoo, somebody need to make a Colorado song. They played that Dr. Dre, him and Tupac. In California, we know how to party. We keep it jumping. And they were flickering the lights on and off. Dun, 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 dun. I had lost myself in that moment. I was full on LA. You would have thought I was born and raised in LA. I was and I never in my life liked that song. Anytime I hear that song, I turn it off. But the way they played it, and he naming cities in the song, and the LA people going crazy. I'm like, dog, he talking about them in the song. I'm like, this is amazing. And I'm like, I love that part. Now that there, I said, if we could bring that there, if I was a recruit, I'm signing. UCLA wanted me, and they hot, and they winning, and they like that. Oh, I'm signing with UCLA. They was rocking that thing. If they do that every fourth quarter, they gonna get all the recruits. Cause that thing, I don't think it could get old, but I guess it could. But I had loved it. I don't know how you felt when they was doing it. I had forgot that I had went to just being a fan then. And I was like, I never liked this song. But they went to playing it, flickering in them lights, and they were bumping, and they made it sound so good. I was like, oh, I love this. So That was my moment I did take from it that I like. And then the fact that I'm like, I'm really in the Rose Bowl. And then I had forgot that the Rose Bowl was played with USC and Texas in that stadium. I
Yep.
forgot that when I saw the picture, I took a picture by it. I was like, wow, I didn't know that was here. And I'm back on that. Reggie Bush lost that game. And he wouldn't have tossed that ball back like that to that player. Like he be doing amazing stuff, but when he tossed that ball back and they got it, Texas got it. That's why they lost that game. Texas won that, never even won that chip if it weren't for that. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah.
What's crazy about it is that I had covered multiple games out at the Rose Bowl in the past, and I had actually gone to a Rose Bowl game back when Jake Plummer and going back to Pat Tillman played Ohio State back in 96 or 97. And the difference between the atmosphere in the actual Rose Bowl game
Yeah.
and UCLA home game up until this fall was
Right.
so drastic. I mean, you didn't even feel like you'd be in the same stadium. You'd
Wow.
go through the same entrance, but the home games for UCLA are just awful. But they
Yeah.
weren't, it wasn't this year. And you talked about it. The atmosphere that was taking place at that game, that was the prime effect taking place.
Yeah.
That was Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes creating that atmosphere because we saw the crowds at other UCLA games this past year, and they were pretty scarce in terms of the fans. So that's the first time I've seen an actual regular season game bring out that type of emotion. But no, they should have enjoyed themselves because they had a great game and a great game plan. And that's part of the problem is that I think because everybody knows when you go play Coach Prime and the Buffs now, all these eyeballs are going to be tuned in. So it's almost like on some level, your Super Bowl, right? Or a game that you're definitely going to get up for. It's not going to be a trap game. And so that's something that, they have to deal with when they go out on these road trips.
I like that. That's what I like about it because every stadium giving you your they best. Nobody gave us lack. Everybody gave us full on. I'm talking about ready to go. Each game that I loved it. I ain't gonna lie. I wish our stadium would get as loud as those teams were do with us when it was on third down. Like when it's third down and we was on away games, it gets plenty loud in there. Rah, rah. But for us, when the team got on third down, it don't seem that loud. And I was like, that I never thought that way until after I came from Oregon. After I came from Oregon, everything was how loud can we get to give our team a chance? They don't understand that plays a major role in the game. But I just don't know how long people could just stay in. I guess we need to dominate the whole game to keep them in, but we'll see this year.
Yeah. I think you were able to attend the Celebration Bowl as well, right? Were there any other non-CU games you went out to this year?
I know I did. My business partner did. He
Okay.
said he enjoyed it. He said now if Coach Prime would have been there, or when he was there the year before, he said now it was on top because it's Coach Prime. So what I'm realizing is Coach Prime is a unicorn. So everywhere we go into the Big 12 this year, and I ain't even gonna lie. What I'm excited about is okay. I seen a few Pac-12 stadiums now and then one Big 12 stadium. Now I get to come and see the different stadiums in the Big 12 that I ain't never seen. I was hoping we played Baylor there where I could have got to see it, but we don't. So I can't remember all the games that's away, like in the Big 12. I want to say
Texas Tech and Kansas as well, I believe.
I never seen them. So I want to see them. I just hope I don't see them when it's cold. I want to see them, but I hope I don't see it when it's cold. But either way, I want to see them. Now tell me this. How do you feel when you travel to every game? See, you in Colorado, so I guess going to that game ain't hard because you there. So you only have to travel for away games. But I had to travel for all the games. It seemed like a lot. Like every game I'm traveling, it seemed like a lot. Not the financial side of it, but that was a lot too. But the just it seemed like I had a more wear and tear on me. It was like by the time I made it to the Utah game, I was so tired. Like, I was like,
Yeah.
because it was like, you got to think, I went somewhere basically every weekend in September, almost every weekend in October, but they had a bye week. And then November, I was almost at all the games. So it's like, I got tired. I don't know how you feel, but
Yeah.
maybe you don't get to feel that way because you got the home games. But yeah, it made me tired in a sense because I had never did that before. Like normally, even when I played college football, your home game is a home game. So you're there. All you're doing is just come to the stadium. You ain't going nowhere. It's done. You done. After the game is really, really over. But for me, all of them are away games to me. Every one of them. So that's why when we had
Yeah.
a UCF game, whoo, I'm glad it's home. So now when y'all come to that game, this home to me, like all I'm doing, I get to feel how you feel for a weekend. Yep, hang out, chill, and go on back home like it ain't nothing. That's gonna be my first feel like I'm you at a home game.
Well, again, I said, if you're a human being, it kind of affects you. Like the losing streak at the end of the season made it tougher than had they won, gone to a bowl game. You kind of get that momentum, after the TCU, Nebraska, Colorado State game. It's like, I just, you find different stamina than you
Right.
do when you travel out to Spokane, drive out to Pullman, you come back and that's when the other side of it comes, where you're just kind of miserable, you're
Yeah.
worn out. When we came back, my wife came out with me to the Salt Lake City, to the Utah game, and took pictures. When we came back, we were both sick for about a week and just had really bad mental fog. And I think it was our bodies just saying, we held
Yeah.
on long enough. We're going to recharge here. But, unfortunately for me, it's like the transfer portal's opening up and I got to get to work. It really never ends until you get the roster completed for spring ball. And so that was frustrating, but it is a lot of time that you lose just getting to the rental car company or getting to the airport or going through that process. And then you fall behind with life tasks and things that you got to get done at home. And you're kind of always behind with everything. And you feel like at the end of the day, you just face plant on the bed because you've put everything out there. And so but at the same time, I mean, what are we doing? We're going out, we're watching football, we're covering football. It's a great time. I wouldn't change it for the world,
Yeah.
but it really is. The losses kind of mount on you, even I think even more so when you're trying to do it on an unbiased sense, like I'm trying to do, in the sense that you're burying so many emotions as you're going through this process. And those emotions, even though they're buried, are somewhere deep down there, right?
Yeah, man, because you hit it on the money from you hit the whole nine. That's the whole experience. Like if a person want to get it, like, because I dreamed about being in this position, like traveling the games, and I love it. But I think what you said was the main thing. The wins make it feel so much better than catching them L's, because you do feel it like you like, oh, like after the USC game, that game everybody felt it wasn't like nobody was sad. We didn't
Mhm.
win, but it felt like we won. It didn't feel like the official win, but it felt like the closest you can get to a win. Like, wow, we really had it. And I seen plays like every game I'm at, I'm looking at when is the deciding factor? When do we have the game? When do we lose it? And I could see it in every game. But like you said, some of them games, like that Stanford game, that one hurt me. That hurt, man. And I seen they was getting hot with that wide receiver. I'm like, I want to tell the DBs, bro, just get in his face and then back up out of there. Cause they look like they trying to hit you over the top. But it was like, I don't know, man. It was tough. That was the toughest loss I took right there. Like that one just stuck it and they just grinded it into you. Like that was rough. The rest of them kind of it would turn early. This one it turned late. It
Yeah.
turned late. And then that game too, Shador had at the beginning of the game, it was like he could sit back there forever. I was like, dog, just run because he was sitting back there so long. It was like, man, just run up the scope. Because we had got up so fast. I was like, I don't like this. I don't like how fast we done got up. This, and I was like, and I researched Stanford. I was like, they not sorry. And they looking like trash right now. This ain't, but then I would see glimmers of hope on them. And I was like, oh, 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 okay, hey, nah, hey. And then it just took off. So them losses, man, they did. Because I think when I went to got ready to go to the airport, leading into that game, for that Utah game, and that airport was closed, man, I wasn't even that mad that I missed it. It was like, I wanted to be there, but I was like, man, it's just so much. It's like my body was beat, man. It was
Yeah.
beat. Yeah, it was beat. And the law, like you say, them losses that added up. And then I always felt we had chances in the game. It's just when it turned quick, man. So, man, that's why I'm hoping this year that all the pieces we got come in and do what they know they could do. Like if we have a running game, like a 5-power running game, get 100 to about 200 yards rushing the game, you know Shador gonna do what he do with the wide receivers. But if we could run it, and then on defense we could really make them key stops, and then get key interceptions, get key pick six, get key fumble returns, then that turns the team into a winning team doing all that versus you can't get off the field. You can't get the first down. You know, all that stuff start hurting you.
Well, it's a good thing Santa Prime came on Christmas to deliver DJ Lundy to Boulder, because that's a huge get, Colin. You look at needs on this football team, especially following that early signing day haul. If you include the transfers, and you're going, okay, but they need linebackers, they need a run stuffer in there. And Vonta Bentley had a nice season this past year, but you need somebody to pair with him in there.
Right.
And DJ Lundy is going to be that guy.
Yeah, he go. Hey, listen, my business partner, because he live in Tallahassee, so he gets a closer view on Florida State as well as FAMU. Now I'm gonna tell you this: FAMU got a big time coach. Somebody is gonna get an amazing coach in him. I don't know if he'll go straight to the group of six, group of five, or the AAC. You know, that's to me really the power six, but they don't want to consider that. Or will he go to the Power Five? He probably gonna come out this year because he probably gonna win everything and win the Celebration Bowl again. Have 2 back-to-back wins in Celebration Bowl. I think he'll get hired. But with my business partner being in Tallahassee, he get to see both of them up close. And I said, man, so I asked him about every player that transferred in, what you think about him? Because I watch Florida State too, but not like he do because he up there. So he said, bro, DJ Lundy is him. He like that, boy. He finna go do what he do. Because my friend played middle linebacker as well, which is my business partner, but Mike Figures, but he played middle linebacker. So he know a linebacker when he see it. He say, man, he's special, man. He said, y'all got one. I say, ooh, I'm ready. Because he can't tell me no lie being a linebacker. Like when I watch the DBs, I can tell you about them DBs. Now, if I look at the safeties, I could grade them, but more so on how they cover. But I look at a DB, a cornerback, I could tell you what he could have done. Now I ain't saying I'm no Coach Prime level, but I know ball. I could read stuff like, okay, they look like they finna bomb me. Let me hike. I know the coach called this play, but I'm finna bail up out of here because I think they finna throw it deep. Like you could have that sense that you gotta make another move because they playing chess with you. They finna try to bomb you. So him being linebacker, middle linebacker as well, and saying DJ like that, I got real excited. So it's some more guys in this portal. Like January supposed to be a special month for us. Now, I don't know if it's gonna be special for the class of 24 or the class of 25. So I'm just waiting. They told me January finna be special. So I'm trying to see which special is it. 24 special, like immediately come play, or 25 special, and I see them in 25.
If you go to Life and Football's YouTube page, you already have interviews up with Will Shepard, Justin Mayers, and Khalil Benson. Any takeaways from those interviews, things that really stood out to you about those 3 guys that are transferring in?
All of them, man, because Benson, he had a thing that he started the DT2, and I was like, man, what's DT2? Because I see it keep talking about it. And then they was like, don't touch two. I like that mindset. He say how the linemen, they on a group text and phone calls, and they all talking, and they all just building that bond now. Like they fast forward, and I guess because they done been there, done that, and they want to win now. And he's played with a quarterback that's gonna go first round. He played with Mike Penix. So you know Mike Penix, so he knows what it feels like to protect the quarterback who's is that special. Like Mike Penix these past 2 years came out to the world. Now he was doing that at Indiana, but he really came out to the world these past 2 seasons at Washington. So he knows how it feels to protect the quarterback. Then you got Mayers came on and he said about Route 66. Run my way. I tell everybody to run Route 66 if you want a touchdown. I'm like, dog, you like that, dude? Then both of them told me that they don't give up sacks. They don't have a sack recorded on them. I'm like, ooh, well, that's good. Then Will Shepherd, he was so laid back and about business, and he was like, man, I was looking for a quarterback who can get me there. Well, everything that he wants is here. You got a quarterback that's a first round quarterback, probably top 5. Then you got the spotlight on you that you would never have at Vanderbilt and probably never have a, well, I ain't gonna say they never have a quarterback because he talked about the quarterback that's coming. He said Walter, I think his name Walter Taylor. He said Walter Taylor is him. He said he could be real special. So I'm ready to see that. So that's an inside that we wouldn't know unless he's, because he's there. So he said he gonna be special. So I'm thinking big as the 2 quarterbacks all we brought in, I think they get some plays this season. I think they get down there and we could run some wildcat and then we could fake them out. And this is just me thinking out loud. But I know the coaches got to think, because if I'm thinking, I know coaches thinking. We could get in there, fake the wildcat, run the wildcat, run it, and then toss that thing, and then it's a touchdown. But I know the coaches probably saying, they're setting us up. They're setting us up. But if you get a quarterback so big and they're running,
Yeah.
whew, that's a game changer too. So it's a lot of ways we could win this year. So yeah, them interviews, they give me a lot, man.
You definitely think back to last season. You think if there was a guaranteed first down in those short yard situations, how different could things have looked if you had a Walter Taylor that could have done that wildcat stuff? So I really cannot wait to see that happen. Before I let you go, Colin, we've had you on longer than I was planning to, but there was obviously huge news with Jordan Seaton signing his letter of intent with Colorado late last week. I want to know, did your nervous scale ever get higher than like a 4 or 5 on a scale of 1 to 10 there? I think I was at a 5 at the most, but I
It,
always felt that he was going to be a buff at the end of the day based on what I was hearing.
I didn't know. I didn't know because all the media sites that's not us came out saying, like, because you part of the 24/7, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So your other parts of 24/7, the own, well, the other companies. So they was all saying it's a Maryland lock. I met Coach Locke when I was in the 8th grade. He was a position coach then. So I met him in the 8th grade. He was cool when I met him then. Once me and my business partner started Life in Football, I introduced myself to him again. And we talked about how I met him in the 8th grade and everything. Excuse me. He was cool now. So I was like, if he could give that home field, because he done reeled in 5-star guys from the DMV area, but they was wide receivers. I ain't never seen him reel in a O-lineman or a D-tackle, which not saying that he can't. I just don't remember him doing it. I remember more skill guys. So I put all that together. I said, man. And then Coach Locke was recruiting my cousin. I had a cousin that committed to Ole Miss this year, but he decommitted. And Maryland wanted him. And we talked about that. And I was like, man, wow, like, Coach got something special going up there in Maryland. And he from the DMV area. He know the area, so he could talk to the boys. Now, Coach Prime is a unicorn. But Mike Locke got something special, too, that he could reel in guys, too. So, to me, I was like, man, that's very appealing. I could get that. I could get them saying, you're starting here. But you could say he could come in and start here, too. He's going to have to fight for it, but he got so much size and so much potential. So I was like, man, I ain't know what to think. I was like, this getting crazy. But I was like, if he gonna sign, man, just sign. Like I tried to listen to his live on Instagram. I couldn't do it. It just was, I was like, man. But then when Bucky came and said, look what I got going on, y'all. Then I was like, oh, we got him. Then I felt good. The rest of the time, people was asking me, you don't sound so confident no more. I fell out of confidence because initially I didn't think we was getting him. I initially thought, from what I was told, it was Tennessee and Oregon, Ohio State. So I stood on that. Then the day he was going to commit, people was asking me about it. I was like, no, he's not coming to us. And I got the call that morning. It's like, hey, pray. Hey, he might do something with us. So I was like, oh, he might come. And then later that day he came. Then he did the tour. Then when he didn't sign, I was like, this is wild. Like, did they put that much money? I don't know what happened, but I was thinking, did they offer him that much money that he couldn't figure out what he wanted to do? But to me, I guess all in all, he probably already sent it in, and it was a planned attack to get more media on him, and it worked. It sure had everybody shook. I was shook. Let's say you said 4 to 5. Let's say I was a 6 or a 7 because I just didn't know, man. It got kind of fishy. I ain't know.
Fair enough. Yeah, I knew that something was going to come down, and I still needed to get some Christmas shopping done. So I put on our message board that, hey, I'm going to the store, but I've got a story loaded. Of course, the second I get in the store, that's when the news breaks, and I'm back there by paper towels trying to text message and tweet and do the whole thing. So I'll take 0.1% credit for his signing by the fact that every time it seems like I try to have a normal life, that's when news for Colorado seems to break.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah, live in effect. On now, when Coach Prime had that commitment weekend with them old linemen, I was on live like every few minutes. Boom, 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 boom. I was on live so much, man, but I enjoy it because it's changing my life, man. Like I got to meet you. I got to meet all the YouTubers. I got to meet Brian. Um, who I got to meet, well, they YouTubers too. So all of them, I got to meet everybody. Uncle Neely, Coach Prime, the staff, everybody, man. It was nice meeting all y'all. And then it was like we was basically family. Like now we seeing each other, we know, like, oh, hey, man, what's up, man? So that's why by the time I seen you for that Arizona State game, I wasn't nervous to talk and laugh with you or nothing. Would I have done that TCU? No, because I ain't know you. But by the time all them games had went, man, yeah, that's my guy now. I can holler at him. That's why I brought the gift to you that day, because I had supposed to mail it out, but it was so much going on, I couldn't mail it out. So I was like, should I bring it to UCLA? Then I said, nah, I just catch him at a home game so he don't have to get a gift, take the gift back, and bring it home versus I give it to him at a home game. He's already home. He just bring it to the car. So that's why I gave it to you at the home game. So see all that, like you say, man, that life be going. And it was like, man.
Yeah.
So that's where I was at with all that, man.
What's cooking for life in football as we venture into 2024?
Man, this year I said, Lord, how can I grow? How can I help people? So from here on out, unless God allow me to change it, man. But so far, I'm gonna teach classes on how to work social media, how I had Twitter and Instagram and YouTube, how it all came together for me, and how I tried other businesses and stuff that didn't work for me. But what really did work was what I really truly love was football. So I'm gonna teach people how to use their gifts and talents and bring it to the marketplace. With the way life going now, to the traditional jobs are not like that anymore. Like I had met what his name is. He might have used to work for y'all one time. His name began with a J and his last name began with an N. Newberg, something Newberg.
Jamie Newberg. Yeah, he's with On3.
In Bartow, because I'm from Bartow, Florida. So he was recruiting. We had a big time player, and he was out there for my at my high school. And I said, hey man, how do I get into this field? Like he said, well, you gotta do a lot of writing. I said, man, I don't want to do no writing. I don't want to write. I don't want to write. I just want to get on and talk. I can talk a lot. I want to talk. He was like, well, you gotta write. And I said, so if I tried to get on with y'all, I gotta write. Well, Lord behold, God allowed me and my business partner to build this business, and it's tailored into what I am. So now I'm media without going through the process maybe you had to go through or any other media people. And I'm out there now that you can't pull me back. So I said to myself, if I see Lee Corso, or old man on here talking, I'm gonna be an old man on here talking. I ain't going nowhere. So I'm locked in now. Like I'm locked in. This is the space that we growing. So now since God done showed me a way I can use my gift and talent and bring it to the world and what I love, and I got to do everything I love doing this year. I want to teach people how to do the same thing and how to make it work for them. And that's what I'm gonna teach. So that's the new thing that I'm doing. And normally and now my first class gonna be January the 20th uh of the new year at 11 a.m. on Saturday on Eastern Standard Time, because I'm on Florida time. And I'm gonna get on there for an hour. I'm gonna talk what I talk, teaching them everything that I know, and then I'm gonna have a Q&A where they can ask me questions. I don't know how many questions they're gonna ask, but I'm gonna do it for an hour session once a month. Now, if God see fit and it pick up and I gotta make more classes in 1 month, I'll do that. But that's my new thing I'm adding. And the other thing was, normally I did interviews during spring, like the March, May type time. But this year, they were like, hey, interview this player, interview that player. I was like, all right. So then after they got the ball rolling, I'm like, well, let me hit this one up. Let me hit this one up. Let me hit that one up. And now I want to interview everybody. So I'm trying to get everybody now of the new guys. My high school guys, I'm going to wait till they get there. I want to hear their story when they're there. I don't kind of want I would take their story now, but I prefer their story when they're there. They're in the college working and they done got a couple weeks in or a couple months in. I want to get them then. But a transfer guy, they're gonna be more mature and give me a story. They'll talk more to me since I've been interviewing people since 2019. They'll talk more to me than a high school guy would. Now I catch them at right when they about to come up, but I don't want them too early before they about to come, because I want them to have some thought process to what's going on. Not that they don't. It's just a transfer guy gonna have more to say, if that makes sense.
Definitely. Well, Colin, your charisma and optimism is infectious, and it's been great to get to know you over the past year. And if there's anything I can do to help out life and football, please don't hesitate to ask. And hopefully we can collaborate a little bit more this offseason.
We can, man. We definitely will, because I was messing with somebody asked me something on live, and I gave them a response. It was true, but then the more and more I think about it and get into it, I'm like, man, yeah, we can rock out. So yeah, because John want to do some stuff too. Yeah, I'm down. Anytime you ready, I'm ready.
Awesome, Colin. Hopefully, yeah, what were you saying?
I like that picture back there with that football. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a Utah game back in the day. But yeah, no, that was a cold day at Folsom Field. But you know, I cannot wait to see what the spring game might look like this year if there's better weather, because they sold it out and it was actually pretty miserable out that day. So that was a great memory on this beat from the last year as well. Colin, I appreciate you. I enjoy tuning in when I have a chance to watch what you guys are doing over there. You guys do great work. As always, I appreciate your friendship, and thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me, man. Tell your wife I'm sorry. I get it right next time. I fall on that gift.
Will do. All right, and thanks everybody out there.